Hi there, my name is James Levesque, and this is entry 292, The Unremarkable Power of Showing Up of the Life After Losses video blog. Now, this is a place where I share my thoughts as a double widower on what I feel it means to live with loss. We love breakthrough stories. We love hearing about the moment somebody changed their life, started a business, wrote a book, or finally decided to pursue a dream. Now, those moments are exciting because they're dramatic. But I've been thinking a lot lately that we may give those moments far more credit than they actually deserve. Because while breakthroughs can change the direction of a life, they're rarely building one. Now, in this week's reflection, I'm going to explore what actually happens after the breakthrough and why some of the most meaningful things we ever accomplish are built through repetition, consistency, and the simple willingness to keep showing up. When we're done, I would love to hear about something that you've stayed committed to long enough to see the results. For now, let's jump into it. We love breakthrough stories, right? We love hearing stories about how the moment someone changed their life, the day they started the business, the day they wrote the book, the day they decided everything was going to be different from now on. The overnight sensation. Those stories are exciting because they're dramatic. They give us a clear beginning, a turning point, a single moment we can point to and say, that's when everything changed. But the older I get, the more I think we give those moments far too much credit. Because while a breakthrough might change the direction of a life, it rarely builds one. What builds a life is everything that happens after. Now, a few years ago, I said yes to writing a book. That's the version of the story that people usually hear. The decision, the beginning, the moment that supposedly set everything else into motion. Now, what people don't see are the hundreds of hours that came after it. The writing, the editing, the rewriting, the days when the words came easily and the days when they absolutely did not. The moments I questioned whether anyone would ever actually read it, and the moments I questioned whether I should keep going at all. I still have those questions sometimes. The book wasn't built by the decision to start it. It was built by continuing to show up for it, page after page, on the days it felt like nothing and on the days that it felt like something. The same thing is true about this blog. People sometimes ask how I've managed to keep writing week after week for as long as I have, and the honest answer isn't very exciting. I wrote one entry, then I wrote another, then another. Eventually, one became 10, 10 became 50, 50 became 100, and somehow here we are, hundreds of entries later. There wasn't a secret. There wasn't some burst of inspiration that lasted for years on end. There was just the decision to keep showing up, one entry at a time, even on the weeks I didn't feel like it. So here's the funny thing about repetition, though. It hardly ever feels important while you're in the middle of it. Practicing the same passage on piano doesn't feel life-changing while you're sitting at the keyboard working through it for the 10th time. Writing one blog post doesn't feel significant when there are already hundreds behind you. Sitting through one more rehearsal doesn't feel like progress when opening night still feels so far away. Most meaningful growth is almost invisible when it's happening. We notice the results later. We almost never notice the accumulation as it's actually building up. I think that's why so many people underestimate what repetition can actually accomplish. We want transformation to feel dramatic. We want progress to be obvious in real time. We want some kind of immediate proof that our effort is paying off. But life doesn't usually work that way, right? Growth is often well underway long before we're able to see any evidence of it. A person doesn't become a musician because they practiced once. A writer doesn't become a writer because they wrote a single page. A relationship isn't built on one conversation, no matter how good that conversation is. Confidence doesn't get built in a single afternoon. The things that matter most are almost always built in small increments that don't look particularly impressive on any individual day. And I think that's probably for the best. Because if every meaningful accomplishment required constant interpretation to sustain it, maybe we would never finish anything. Inspiration comes and goes. Motivation comes and goes. Excitement comes and goes, usually faster than we'd like. What actually remains, if you let it, is the willingness to return, to sit down again, to try again, to write again, to show up again, even when nothing about that particular day feels meaningful. When I look back over my life, I can point to plenty of moments that changed my direction. Saying yes to writing a book, returning to acting, joining a musical review I wasn't sure I had any business being in, starting this blog with no idea where it would end or lead. But those moments only mattered because something followed. The breakthrough opened the door. Showing up is what actually carried me through it. I think that's true for most things worth building. Not every day will feel meaningful. Not every effort will produce visible results. Not every step forward will even feel like progress while you're taking it. But small actions, repeated long enough, have a way of producing outcomes that once seemed completely out of reach. The remarkable part was never really the breakthrough. The remarkable part was what happens when ordinary efforts get repeated long enough to add up to something. So now it's your turn. This week, let's think about something that already matters to you. Not something you want to start, but something you've already started. What would happen if you simply kept showing up for it? Not perfectly, just consistently. Where might that small, ordinary effort take you a year from now? Sometimes the biggest changes in a life don't come from one extraordinary moment. Sometimes they come from hundreds of ordinary ones, stacked quietly on top of each other until one day you look back and realize how far they carried you. So, drop a comment. I'd love to hear. Thanks for watching.